Hello and welcome to another Beer Clipper video. This is my build video for the Encounter Terrain 10x10 challenge for November, and I am massively uninspired as I stand here just about to make a start. So the theme is the Will of the Gods, which brings all sorts of ideas, except that I've constrained myself for the next year to building terrain for Chain of Command in 20mm so that I can actually get a game in at some point. So it's kind of a little bit of a self-punishment for the fact that it's been years and I've been trying to play it and I've not yet, so so there's that. And so while there's all sorts of crazy ideas. If you were going to do a diorama piece, obviously that's what I do mostly, or something that was in the fantasy realms, you can think of all sorts of cool things. But yeah, historical, World War II based, I have a few ideas but nothing's stuck. So yeah, I'm standing here recording this, no idea what I'm going to make. All I've got is the starting thing and my 10cm by 10cm terrain tile system from Sarissa. This was the starting item, a knife. So yeah, we're going to find out together. You will while you're watching this video. I will over the next just under 2 weeks. What actually am I going to make? Let's hope that it's good. Let's hope they have fun. I'm probably going to not do anything now. I just want to get this started, get the project on the way. And yeah, when I start building, I'll film some more clips. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to join in on this challenge. It's a wonderful challenge. It's great fun. It's just for fun. Run via Discord and via Instagram. So yeah, let me know if you take part. If you want to take part, and I can hook you up. But otherwise, please do enjoy the video, and thanks for watching. So my idea for this is really simple. Will of the Gods. What I'm going to do is going to be fitting in with the same one I did last month, which was obviously Rose's Cafe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a crater in the middle of this one. I'm going to sculpt that crater out of Milliput, and then I'm going to put the kind of cobblestones roller around the edge, and I'm going to have an unexploded bomb. So it's not going to be a big crater, it's just going to be a kinetic crater rather than an explosion crater, and it's going to have an unexploded bomb in it with a little bit of steam coming out of it, and that's going to be it. It's a super simple idea, but the way my life is at the moment, super simple is good. So yeah, so we're going to use Milliput to do the sculpting. I'm getting more and more confident with Milliput to the extent that I've actually ordered a load more. This was the first pack I ever bought. And I wasn't totally sure about it. I prefer it a lot to green stuff, so I ordered some more, which is good. That'll be coming soon, hopefully. So yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to use a relatively large amount. Often with Milliput you end up using too much, and that's what I find with all these things. You end up wasting quite a lot, which I don't like. But yeah, so I've had this for a while, as you can tell from the discoloration. So what you do is you get roughly the same amount of equal proportions, or it should be exactly, and I always use water because it just makes it a lot easier. And then what you're looking at doing is squishing and smushing it together, and like I say, I put lots of water in it. It makes it a lot easier to blend. And what you want to do, and it says 5 minutes, which could be right, so I might stop the camera. Could be a bit boring watching me do this, but basically what you're looking at doing is getting rid of all of the merging the two colours together, so there's no smears, no stripes, and it's all one colour. So it's a bit dirty, it's a bit of a messy process, which is always fun. So I'll get this done. I might even need more. And then when that's all fully smushed, I'll bring you back and we'll show you the next step. So we have our kneaded Milliput, which didn't take all that much longer, to be honest. And it's a good one to work with. It's nice to work with. I find it easier than the green stuff, just because it's actually easier to push around, and the green stuff can quite often end up being really annoying because it always has that kind of, because they're stored next to each other, it always has that little hard bit which then gets in the way and really annoys you. So here we are. I mean, this is not going to be very hard to do. There is a little kind of like crater, as simple as that. It took me how long? 39 seconds since I started recording this clip.
So we're going to do that, and we're going to let that dry. And then the next thing that we'll do is we'll put the cobblestones on it, and then I will have a look at and also have a look at what bomb I'm going to use, which might come from the 3D printer, I think, thinking about it. So yeah, that's probably the thing I'm going to do, and then it'll be painting, and then it'll be done. So a nice simple build, but I think it should be a really nice little addition to my terrain, and also it does fit in with the theme. So that's what matters. It's taking part that counts. So onwards. I managed to find myself an ideal unexploded bomb on Thingiverse, I think. I don't remember to put the link to the file in the description below, but if you search for unexploded bomb, it's pretty much the only result. So that's going to absolutely work perfectly. I've trimmed the base a little bit, very small amount, but funny enough, it actually is lining up quite nicely with my Milliput base. Now, what I did realise I should probably have done is thought about this, which is a theme, and probably thought a bit more about maybe some utilities and things that I might want to have coming out of the ground, so pipes, what have you. But it's too late now. I'm cracking on with this anyway. So just going to glue this in place with some PVA, and then when that's done, we'll come along with the roller and put the put the rest of the cobblestones on and up to here, and work out how we're going to do the destroyed area, and then I'll paint it. So yeah, it's cracking on well. It's very early on Saturday morning, and I've got another week to go, so I've still got time to do it. Such a simple build, but yeah, I need a simple build this month. Okay, I've just rolled out some air dry clay with my green stuff roll roller, and what I'm going to do now is stick it on. And as I always say, remember, clay is not adhesive in and of itself, so you need to put glue down. White glue is what I use, as you can see. Otherwise it will not stick to whatever it is you want it to stick to, because it'll just crack off. So yeah, we'll spread that around. Don't need too much. I've put way too much glue out, so I'm just putting it back in the bottle, no point in wasting it. Spread it out nice and evenly, and then what we'll do is we'll start to position the air dry clay where we want it, and then it will go off. Takes a while, maybe a day or two to go off, but after that it's a very quick process, so it doesn't matter. So I have a sculpting tool that I use for cutting my clay, so I'll just get this done. I might put some music on while I'm doing it. The good thing with this, obviously, is it's supposed to be damaged, so I can rationalise any bad cuts or whatever. So yeah, we'll just get this done. I'll put some music on. There you are, that's done. So I'll let that dry now. As I say, it'll take a while, and then we'll come and paint it and get this finished. Quite pleased, glad to be making some progress. Next step on this, now this is well and dried, is to paint it. Now I'm going to use the same technique as I did for my previous tile, which is for this little project. That is to paint with black, and then come along while it's still wet and rub a load off. Which sounds really stupid and really simplistic, but it actually worked really nicely to get not a too dark finish. So I'm going to paint the whole thing. I'll come back and do do all of the other stuff. This is just an undercoat, so I'll come back and do the bomb and put some gravel and other assorted stuff inside the bomb crater afterwards. But for now, yeah, paint it like this, and then get a paper towel, rub it over, and you get a really nice dirty kind of like effect, as you're about to see. So just with a paper towel, just come along and tap it on and dry it off. There we are. Really simple, really effective. I really like the look. So obviously that's going to need to dry more now. But when that's actually dried, it will look really, really cool. And then I'll come along and I will work a little bit more on the plastic elements, which maybe that paint isn't really going to affect, but it shouldn't damage it. So yeah, so then we'll come on to the other elements. So I'll bring you along when I get to that. I'll leave that to dry for a day or so and then move on to the next step. We're actually nearly done on this. This is a really simple build, but I think it is going to look very nice when it's finished. Next part of this super simple build, I've painted this in some random army green, is to put a little bit of paint and a little bit of sand into the dip which has been caused by the crater. So I'm going to put some of my terrain paint, which is watered down house paint mixed with PVA. Going to put that in here and just cover up all of the grey. Sorry, my hand's getting in the way. And then I have some sifted sand, which is again just normal builder's sand, it's nothing special. So let me zoom out a bit. There we are. I've got the builder's sand in this bucket here, and it is as simple as taking the sand, pouring it on like that. There we are. And then shaking it off. And there we are. We have a textured area for around the base of the bomb. So I will let that dry and then probably come along with the same paint and give it a bit more colour. I might go for a redder colour, I'm not sure, but that's going to be good to hold it in place. That will go off and dry very quickly. And once it's all securely attached, I can then come and put a different colour on it. So I'll bring you back for that. But yeah, very, very basic build this, nearly finished, which is really cool. That sand's dried now, and I've decided to come in with my redder kind of reddy brown paint, mainly to just do a little bit of contrast. It's a very monotone piece, this, and so having a slightly different dirt is good. So I'll just paint that on. That will act both to add the colour, obviously, but it will also seal the sand in so that it doesn't ever come loose. So there we are. So when that's dried, what we'll look at doing is adding in the smoke, and then the project is complete. So the final touch on this piece is going to be the smoke, and you can see here I've got some hollow fibre, hollow fill, whatever you call it, and I'm just going to put a blob of PVA down here, simple as that, and then we're going to press that in place and let that dry. We'll say that the wind is blowing in this direction, so that when that's dried, that will look really, really nice. So a super, super simple build. I know it's not to the extent of the ones. Never enter this challenge to win it, so don't really mind. I've made something that I wouldn't have done, and that can now go with the other tiles that I'm making for Train of Command, and it'll be really nice. Just a nice little bit of scenery. You can kind of have a little bit of smoke cover here. You can maybe the house rule it or something. That you can, maybe it could be something that you've got to try and diffuse. It could be a really fun little scenario, or whatever. I'm happy with it. Easy, quick, and looks good, and that's what matters. And I've been trying to work out just that final little touch for this, because it is a bit bland. It's what I wanted, but it is a bit bland. And I was cleaning up some miniatures, some metal miniatures, the other day, and I found this actually was completely accidental, but totally great opportunity, which I'm going to take advantage of. This little sliver, which I'm struggling to pick up, it's very, very fine. Actually came off of the sprue, and as you can see, it looks a little bit like a cross. So what I am going to do is I am going to stick this on there, here, just flat and just very subtle. And I'm just going to put it down in between one of the cracks of the cobblestones. So I'll just put a little bit of super glue in like that, and then drop it in place. What was that bang? That was noisy. So there's a little bit of super glue. We'll just drop it in place. It won't impact playability at all. It probably won't even be noticed by very many people. But if I zoom that right in, actually onto it, you can see there we are. We have a little cross, and the potential is that someone was there, the bomb dropped, and they weren't injured by the will of the gods.
Well, that was a very quick build. You could almost say lazy, but an unexploded bomb. It's a pretty cool little thing to have for the tabletop. And I think that the end result was pretty good, actually, to be honest, considering that I really was mainly phoning that one in rather than putting in the effort that I normally do on these builds. I hope that that has maybe given you some ideas or inspiration. It was nice to work with Milliput. I don't work with Milliput very often, so it was nice to work with that then. But yeah, probably not the best build I've ever done, but hey, you can't always make super wonderful, amazing, complicated things. Sometimes you just want something simple to put on the tabletop, and that's what this is. So yeah, no shame in that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I reply to every single one of them. Don't be shy. I love reading them. I love replying to them, even if they're negative. I still love replying and reading them. So yeah, be welcome in my comments. And as I always say at the moment, if any of you are directly or indirectly impacted by the horrible war going on in Ukraine, then my thoughts go out to you. And to everyone, please do stay healthy, stay safe, and stay well.